How do you measure up? Finally, we have a test that assesses our fitness level based on our age group. With this test, we can identify our strengths and weaknesses so we can work on them now rather than 10 years from now when it may be too late. Today we will be testing our upper and lower body strength, our aerobic endurance, our upper and lower body flexibility, as well as our agility and balance. At the end of each test, we'll be showing you two charts. The first one will display where you should be in your age group, and the second will show you what the norms are in your age group. I love the saying, I'm independent and I want to remain independent. That is the goal of these tests, so we can stay on our journey to remaining physically independent. Another bonus we have is at the end of the video, we will offer tips on how you can improve in any areas that you felt weak in. That being said, let's get started on our first test. Now let's measure our lower body strength simply by using a squat. You will need a chair, and I want you to cross your hands and get comfortable in that chair. I want you to have head forward. What we're going to do is just simply see how many squats can we do in a 30-second time. That will let you know how strong or weak you are in your lower body. Ready, set, go. We will let you know when you're at the halfway mark, so keep going. Okay, you're halfway through, almost there. Good for you. Stop. Check the charts to see where you are. Now let's measure upper body strength. Ladies, you will need a 5-pound weight. Gentlemen, you'll need an 8-pound weight. We're going to sit comfortably in a chair and take this weight and let it hang at our side. I want you to touch just below your bicep so that we can keep this weight in alignment, so you're not using momentum to swing it back. You're simply lowering the weight and lifting the weight. Use your dominant arm, the one you think is the strongest, and give it a couple practices. All right? And each curl will count as one. So we're counting 1 and 2, and we're going to do this for 30 seconds. At the end of the 30 seconds, check the charts to see where you are. Remember, we will also be offering tips at the end of the videos if you should fall a little short of where you should be. Ready, set, go. Stop. How do you measure up? Now let's see our aerobic endurance. You're going to need a chair, and then I want you to find something to mark that chair. I'm just using a little sticker here because we are going to simply do a march in place test to see how many steps we can get in 2 minutes. But I want you to kind of judge a 45-degree angle. and using a piece of tape or a sticker or maybe an address label, kind of mark where that is so you'll be sure to be bringing your leg up at least that high. Now we're going to be marching for 2 minutes, and each 2 steps will count as 1. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 minutes doesn't seem like a long time, but it is. Once you get to the 1 minute mark, you're going to realize you need to pace yourself. I mean, you don't want to be going this and then at 2 minutes you can't keep going. So pace yourself. If you need to slow down, slow down. You can use the chair or not use the chair. It's up to you. So are you ready to find out your aerobic endurance? Let's go. Ready, set, go. Remember to pace yourself. Keep counting. We'll let you know when you're at the halfway mark. Make sure you're going to last the whole 2 minutes, so slow down if you need to. Just keep counting. Halfway mark, good for you. Keep going. Just 30 seconds more. You can do this. When you stop, make sure you don't stop automatic. Slow yourself down, but stop counting. Stop. Let's do our lower body flexibility simply by using a chair. We need to know our lower body flexibility because being flexible makes it easier to move through our day, perform our daily tasks. So you'll need a chair, and I want you to sit comfortably a little forward in that chair. Check your posture, and you get to use whichever leg you feel you might get a better stretch on. We're simply going to stretch our leg out straight, overlap our hands and line up the middle finger, and simply reach forward and see how close we can come to that foot. Now I want no rounding, all right? I want you to reach straight forward, nice flat back. You can reach down a little bit, but try not to round. And try each leg because you get to judge by the leg you think you'll stretch the farthest on. And what we're going to do, once we've reached for that leg, you're going to approximate or measure how far you are to your toe. If you are away from the toe, that's going to be measured as a minus. Minus how many inches you are away from that toe. If you're at the toe, you'll be a 0. If you're beyond that toe, you'll be in the plus range, all right? So sitting up straight, hands forward, middle fingers overlapping. Do your reach test and see how flexible you are. Now let's see how flexible you are with your upper body with just a simple scratch and reach test. We've done this in many of our classes, so it's not a difficult one, and now you're warmed up from the aerobics test. What you're simply going to do, and you're going to try both sides, is just reach down your spine and then up with your other hand. I want you to try both sides because you'll see that one side is a little more flexible than the other, and choose the side that's best. You get 2 practices. So if you are reaching, that will be a 0. If you are reaching past, that will be a plus. This might be a +1. If I'm here, I'm going to be a minus, I would say about a -5. You may need someone to measure this for you, or you can just kind of estimate. And again, do not be concerned because the norms are not in our age group touching always, right? We just want to know where we're at because as we age, we do lose a little bit of our upper body flexibility. Give it a try. Now let's do our simple test to measure our agility and balance. You will need a chair, a measuring tape, and they suggest a cone, but I don't have a cone handy at my house. So I'm using an upward object like this detergent bottle. What I want you to do is simply measure from where your chair is out 8 feet, because we're going to see how you are as far as getting up out of that chair and moving in a distance. So 8 feet would be about here, and take and set your cone or your detergent bottle at 8 feet. We'll set this to the side, and I want you to take the ready stance in this chair, because all you're going to need to do is get up and go. Get up, go around that cone, and set back down. Now, you think this might not be a reliable test, but if you are not very agile and good balance, it's going to look something like this, right? Kind of like I look like when I wake up with the arthritis flare-up. But if you are very agile and have good balance, it's going to look something more like this. And we're going to time how long it takes you to get up and sit back down in that chair. As easy as that. Let's talk about what we can do to improve our lower body strength. That was the one with the squats. So if you're having problems with squats, count how many you can do before you tire. Not get exhausted. And just each week try to add a few more. Simply getting up and down from the table, from the computer, or eating, instead of just doing it once, add in a few in there. Another great strengthener are just lunges. I don't necessarily like walking lunges. I like lunges that move that hip, move that lower body. Many of you have done these with me in class in all directions. The weight of that leg will strengthen those quads and those hips. Make sure you do both sides. Figure out how many you can do before you've said enough. And then the next time you do them, try to add in a few more. Another great quad and lower body strengthener is just a simple Tai Chi straight down plie. You should pull those knees back over your toes for clean alignment and maybe add some simple arm movements so that you're kind of getting a compound move, kind of burning calories in both places, upper body and lower body, and see how long before you start to feel the burn here. Go a few more minutes and then just relax. What can we do to improve our upper body strength? I think the biggest thing we can do is to make certain we are doing weights at least 2 to 3 times a week, either weights or resistance bands, or whatever is favorite, if you like bar lifts. But it's consistency, making sure that you do it 3 times a week and at a weight that challenges you. Remember, at our age group, I do not want you to feel like you need to rip those muscles. I want you to just work on feeling strong. And keep in mind, we have 2 videos that can help you. We have the resistance bands, and then we have the weight video. So just do it. Keep a set of weights maybe by your chair. By now, you should have either a set of weights or a resistance band at home, so you can do a little extra effort on keeping that upper body strength. What can we do to improve our aerobic endurance? A number of things. One of my big points is get out of that chair and get moving. Go for a walk, and when you take that walk, you're walking along, step it up a little bit. Increase your pace for maybe 15 to 30 seconds. Same thing if you're cycling. Do your cycling and then force yourself to get to the point of need to breathe. Swimming, same thing. Anything that keeps you active, but push it a little bit. That's why your high intensity interval training is becoming so popular, because it has these short bursts of extra energy involved that gives you that need to breathe. Aerobic classes, Zumba classes, anything that makes you go a little bit further than you would normally in your own environment. So get moving. Start a regimen of trying to stretch in the morning and in the evening. That surprised a lot of people that we need to stretch at the end of the day, but it'll only prepare you for a good night's sleep and stretch out those muscles that have been working hard all day. The one that we did in the chair is a simple, easy one that you can do a couple times a day. Just stretching out those legs, right? On the bed. I know not everybody likes to go to the mat, but you can do these right on the bed. You know the simple hamstring stretches, right? And hold them a little bit so it gives them time to lengthen and keep our flexibility. Why not take a yoga class to learn the moves, or a stretch class? Or don't forget, we have a couple videos on stretching. Let's talk about improving our upper body flexibility. It's probably one of the most needed areas in our age group because we tend to round forward as we're aging. We need to stretch the pectorals and that upper back. So simple reaches, squeezing these shoulder blades, reaching up high and squeezing down and back, and trying to get them not just in front of us, trying to pull them behind us. Anything that uses those pectorals and the trapezius and the rhomboids, right? Stretching back behind you, because many times we don't take this arm behind us to stretch. We stop it here. So make sure you're stretching behind you. A stretch class, a yoga class, they're all known to improve your flexibility, both upper and lower body. Plus, we do have some videos that you can give a try. To improve your agility and balance, you need to kind of challenge yourself to different activities. You can do that simple test that we did and just keep trying it and you'll get better at it. But if you're walking all the time, why not try a little swimming? Why not try a little bicycling? A few different sports, maybe paddleball or pickleball or tennis. They'll just make you test your skills in a different way. Take a different aerobics class or a dance class or a Zumba class, or try some of the videos we have, because the more you move, and especially the more you move in the environment you're not familiar with, the better you will become at agility and balance. Try our balance video as well. Okay, there you have it. Now you should have a pretty good idea as to your strengths and weaknesses, so you will know where to spend more time and continue on your path to staying physically independent. I hope you will try the tips at the end of this video, especially in the areas where you need improvement. And I also hope you'll subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Here's to feeling good.